Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where today we are taking a look at a video that was uploaded by Gambit, one of the current World of Tanks console CCs. Anyone that subscribes to this channel will know it by its other name, or Vishaw, V-I-S-H-A-W, I think so, Vishaw, I think I'm saying it right. But this is his video here, 10 kills with 12,000 damage featuring the T249 Black, Toxic and Broken. Now, for those of you that watch my channel regularly, you'll know that I don't dabble in World War II very often. And I'll be honest, I've heard a lot of people talking about this vehicle. I've never actually watched it in game until I saw this video. And when I did see this video, I thought, okay, I'm gonna react to whatever Gambit says here. I'm gonna provide you guys with my thoughts on it. So without further ado, let's jump straight into this.
Hey everyone, in this video we are featuring the T249 Black Tier 10 US Premium Light Tank at Tier 10, also the only tank at Tier 10 that has silver bonus. So in this video you'll...
Only tank at Tier 10 with a silver bonus. That's an interesting... That's interesting, actually. I think I'll circle back around to that
why
later.
So many people hate T249. Why people say it's broken, overpowered, toxic. Because in most of the situation, you will lose to T49 if you don't have enough armor. The tank can also just YOLO you. There's nothing much you can do. Of course, if you're in a super heavy, then this tank is essentially useless. You can still do a little bit of damage, but not really worth it. But in right situation, when the tanks are there, which can be penned by this tank, and there are not that many super heavies, you'll see what this tank is capable of. As in this game, I not only do 10k or 11, I do almost 12k damage.
12k damage. That's those are Cold War numbers. Yeah, that's era 2, era 3 numbers. So that for tier 10, that is almost unheard of, I'd say.
You are in an LLME. So let's get started with the game. The enemy also have two T249, so I have to be careful, as you can never win against the T249, especially if it's loaded. Even if I am full health and he's one shot, I can still lose. It's very, very
terrible gun depression.
Tough to win against the T249 when they're fully loaded. It doesn't matter if you're driving zigzagging, you'll just die.
Terrible gun depression, which does make sense given this thing is supposed to be shooting air targets, not ground targets.
So one of their light tank or T249 they was spotted. He's now reloading, and I wanted to capitalize on this situation to take him out of the game. I will be reloaded when I get close to him. He's panicking. He can see death, and nothing much he could do because I just him and he's out of the game.
That's insane. 500 and something hit points, and well, like you mentioned, gone.
Luckily, I made a terrible mistake here. I did a 360, completely stopped, allowing that E4 to just pen me, but I did get lucky that he only hit my track. I could already see that RNG is on my side in this game. Not to mention, I do like this map as well. My favorite console exclusive map. There's no visual noise.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know from memory what the T110E4 fires, but I'm guessing it's APHE, and just tracking this thing. Yeah, nah.
That means I can see more clearly, as well as it's a sunny day. So, what's not to like about this map?
I agree. Wargaming, if you're listening, this is a beautiful map. I love this map as well. This is my favorite map. So any new maps you bring in, I love the bright sunshine because it just makes the map pretty. It's beautiful and it's got a summery, uplifting, positive vibe to it. I really like it, so please, more of this.
At 800 damage so far, 1 kill, waiting for the right opportunity. E4 I do have shot, but I know I can't pen him, so I'm not
Probably
getting
reload.
greedy, just wasting my clip. Waiting for the right opportunity. I just wanted to do, since I was doing my
reload
grind for third mark, I wasn't taking any unnecessary risks that I sometimes take when I'm casually playing. And that's why I ended up with a decent game where I didn't make any mistake. I should have forced a reload, however I didn't. I saw Guardian STG was in a position where he could have jumped on me, ignored him because I got lucky the first time. I wouldn't beat this time. But as I was pushing forward, what do I see? Grill 15. And you know what they say? If you see a T249 coming towards you, you're already dead unless you're super heavy and the tank's full health. And that's what happens with Grill. Goes down from 1800 HP to 0 in 2 seconds. And he
1800 to 0 in 2 seconds.
missed on me. And then earlier E4 bounced on me. So finally forced to reload, looking for an opportunity to bait Guardian so he push and I can ambush him. But as I was going forward, got spotted by Heavy, didn't calculate it. I was at this time I'm also reloading. I just didn't want to take shot from Guardian, and I can't even pen him frontally, so I want him to kind of overcommit and not stay in that tunnel area, as I would push in, do maybe 200 damage, and then ended up losing more health. And I don't want to do that considering it's a tier 8. We are winning by 3 tanks. Guardian gets spotted, a little bit too confident, I would say. He's retreating, and I'm like a vulture preparing to attack a helpless prey. And there it is. Guardian just started spraying him. He missed again, and now towards his side, I was able to finish him again. Full health to 0 in probably 2 seconds. 16 seconds before I'm loaded again.
I mean, Era 2 players are used to this because we've got the Weasel one. It's not as quick as this, it's not as bad as this, but it's on the same path. It's just a couple of steps behind. But this for tier 10, this would be, yeah, this from a tier 10 point of view, I can imagine for World War II players, this is like, for Cold War players, you're so used to Era 2 having autocannons. You're so used to ATGMs being what they are. You're so used to gradual power creep in the game that the Weasel one is bad, but it's not like it's sort of expected because of the way premiums were going. It was like, oh, okay, the Weasel toe was in there. Okay, all right. So now we've got the Weasel one. Yeah, didn't see that coming. But for World War II tier 10, I can imagine this tank was an absolute, just a complete T-bone for all World War II players. Like, where the hell did this thing come from? Who thought this was a good idea? This is utterly absurd. It defies words almost. That's my impression watching this, and with what I remember of World War II and tier 10. I can imagine World War II players are just they're stunned, shocked, don't know what to say about this thing. That's what I'm getting from this.
And we have our next target, E4. He's not paying attention. I'm not peeking yet since I'm not spotted. Don't want him to turn. All I want is to just shoot his back. And no point in peeking.
All right. So this is a great example of when I talk about tanks being broken and overpowered, this is a great example of what I mean, because even though Gambit's reloading here, he is already talking about what he is going to do and get away with in the next couple of 10-20 seconds. He knows he has absolute control of the situation. That's what I mentioned in my ELC review. You can have absolute control of a situation, and that's exactly what he's got here, and he knows that. So 1,712 hit points. Let's see what happens.
Since it's not reloaded, and there it is, boys. There it is. Satisfaction. Another tank goes down. He was at full health, but I think this time, since I was that close,
satisfaction was the word used there. I know exactly what he's talking about. Yes, it is absolutely wonderful at first to annihilate a T110E4 like that. It's wonderful to annihilate every medium, light, heavy in Era 2 as well. It's satisfying for about 3 minutes. And then after that, for me anyway, the light bulb goes off in my head and I'm thinking, this is only fun for me. And that is not good for the game. That is not good for the health of this game. So I've been where Gambit is right now. I did it a lot with the Weasel Toe. I thought, this thing is amazing. Wargaming won't do this again. This is a one-off tank. You know, fast forward, hindsight is 2020. It's not a one-off. I know Wargaming have said that they're going to rebalance this, but I thought they'd rebalanced this already. I thought they'd nerfed it already. And I'm making this video before the Viper season's gone live. And this video, as of this recording, is about 3 days old. So I thought they'd nerfed this already. But they haven't. Why is it taking them so long to nerf it? I can only assume there are legal reasons for not nerfing it. But yeah, a lot of people in the comments section will say, I bought the tank, I don't want it nerfed, I want what I paid for, it's fun. So yes, I can see that from a very narrow point of view, and in my opinion, I think that's quite a selfish point of view, because you're only thinking about yourself and what you bought and what you want. For the game, this is not good. For everybody else, for the gaming community, for the stability of the digital ecosystem that is World of Tanks console, this is not good.
Stationary, we took him out in 1.5 seconds.
He was 1,700 hit points in 1.5 seconds. There's nothing. No, you might be able to do it in a BMP2, ATGM in the air, fire the autocannon, boom boom, but
it was still pretty healthy, 1,700 damage. Artillery tried to blind fire, but as you can see, RNG is
nice try.
In my favor this game. As I've been blocking shots, they are missing, and then I'm penning, and you'll see what happens right here as well. I spots artillery, not a clear shot, he's on the move, I am on the move, but I still ended up penning him and taking him out of the game with half my clip. A little bit lucky there. I know the second artillery should be close by, hence I didn't force a reload, and he goes down here as well, bringing my total to 8,200 damage. And this is where I thought, okay, another 10k is possible for this tank. I know there's a Panzerjäger, he's full health, don't want to chase him or for him to panic and drive out in the open, so giving him time to rotate a little bit. I see the tree fall, and I was hoping my team won't shoot him as he does get spotted. However, I'm the only one that's close to the tank, so I was pretty confident they can't do much damage. But they did fire at Panzerjäger. He got unspotted, or sorry, lucky he didn't get shot at. He's running away now, got unspotted, and I'm chasing him. Vulture is coming in hot. And what do we have here? A helpless tier 8. Well, he's dead. Still, I have more than half of my clip loaded, and we have a T-77. Lack of gun depression coming in handy. Artillery tracks him, and he goes down as well. Did not get a chance to fire a single.
I'm sorry, but you've got +2, -2 in World War II. In what world is this okay for tier 8s? Yeah.
Single shot. So took out 2 more tanks again in one clip. What do we have now is a Hori. I was hoping he's full health, as well as a Highlander. And I thought maybe if his Hori is full health, I can get an 11k damage. So getting a little bit greedy, 11k always more special than 10. I mean, obviously any bigger number is more special, right? And Hori, lucky for me, he is full health, and Highlander.
Bigger number is more special. I get where he's coming from, but there comes a point that, well, and this might be new for World War II players, this point has already been reached in Cold War especially, where people will post, oh look, I did 12,000 damage, and then you look at it and you go, oh yeah, you did it in a Weasel 1, you did it in an ELC, you did it in a Begleitpanzer, you did it in the Weasel Toe, and it's at that point, it's just an eye roll at that point. It's like, ugh. Yeah, okay, whatever. That's what this is becoming. That's my vibe. That's what this is. This is just an eye roll. This is just a.
Highlander was 800. Took a shot for 300. So every shot they're taking is kind of making it difficult for me to do more damage, right? As I can do clip as I can clip them, I can pen them from the rear. Hori fortunately is still full health, and just waiting for the right angle. Do not want to miss any of my shots, as I will not get a chance to
Again, fully in control of the engagement. Nothing they can do.
reload again. And there goes Hori. I would say that was 1.5 seconds at 11.5k damage and 9 kills. Highlander gets tracked again, lucky for me. If he had died, I would not have been able to get my pools medal. I have very few pools medal, and also do 11.7k damage. Nonetheless, my highest, or I would say my best game in this tank or in any tier 10 in general, because not only I have 11.7k damage or 12k combined, also 10 kills. That means a pool as well as a red lease.
So there you go. There's the game. 10 kills, just under 12,000 damage. Pools medal. But even then with the pools medal, it's just like a, you did it in the 249. And I'll go back to something he said at the very start. The T249 is the only tier 10 premium with a silver boost. Now typically Wargaming give economy boosts to tanks that they think are lacking in gameplay options. Typically economy boosts are applied to tanks that have areas where they are not competitive in the game. So the economy boost is it's just adding to the vehicle to try and sell it. And the fact that Wargaming added that tells me that they add the old way of balancing premiums. They didn't know how to do it. They didn't know how to balance their premiums. And they have come out and said that they're going to reevaluate how they balanced premiums to tech trees, which is acknowledgement of the errors that they've been making and the mistakes they've been making. But yeah, that was the first time I'd seen the 249 gameplay, and that thing needs a nerf. Absolutely, that needs a nerf. That's ridiculous. That is. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought that was a Cold War replay. That's how Cold War goes sometimes. That is absurd. Absolutely absurd. Jeez. Well, let's see what happens in the next season. I'm hearing from people, or I think Wargaming have said that there's going to be a balance patch for this in the new season. As of this recording, the new season is only 3 days away, so we'll see what happens. I feel for you World War II players. Tier 10 to Tier 8 especially. You've worked real hard to get your Tier 8s. You've worked real hard to get your Tier 10s, and then you face this thing. Unbelievable. Fingers crossed Wargaming do something to bring this thing in line, because as it is right now, that is ridiculous. But Gambit is a good player. Can't take that away from him. So well played. Yeah, well played. I mean, 10 kills is good. Let's see that in the Sheridan now. let's see that in the tier 10 Sheridan, shall we? Alright guys, that's all I've got for this video. So if you've enjoyed it, please leave it a like. If not, a dislike. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.